Hey everyone, Buddha here, gonna bring you a second 2v2 game from Protech. He is playing as Zerg. Remember, Protech has a stream on Team Liquid. He streams very often. He is the reference in 2v2, by the way. Last season, he actually had 5 accounts in the top 15 worldwide. Not only on the Korean or North American server, but worldwide. His partner will actually be Mad Winner, so he is also going to be a Zerg. ZZ, a very strong 2v2 team, because double 6 pool will actually almost always win against Protoss Terran team, because they just won't have enough time to get that wall off. And actually there is Zerg from their opponent. It is Pink Ghost and Chumbawamba. That's going to be fun to cast. It is Zerg and Protoss team. And actually a 9 pool going up for Protech. Like I said last game, a 9 pool is not a cheese in 2v2. You have to get that in your mind. There are not cheeses, they are very standard. You saw that last game, it did not do any damage. It's just for map control and allowing your opponent to, your partner, to do whatever he wants during the game. As a comparison, you can actually imagine a Protoss player not walling off in 1v1, or a Terran player not walling off his front door in 1v1. Imagine that stream of lings if you 14 pool or if you 12 pool or something, getting into that main base. That is what's going to happen with a 10 pool. You are able to control this center, not allowing your adversaries to actually join their armies up. And that gives freedom to your partner to do whatever he wants until at least like the 6-minute mark. And that is really the power of this build. He can take an expansion and then go up to 3 bases versus 2. So even if you are sacrificing some economy, your partner can just compensate for that completely and have one huge production. These 6 initial lings will actually make their way to their opponent base. His opponent, Pink Ghost, actually went for a 14 gas, 14 pool. He will be getting his speed right away. Should stop mining gas soon, unless he wants to go for some kind of baneling bus or defensive banelings. These 2v2 builds are actually quite bizarre. If you compare them to 1v1, they are very different. 12 pool is actually very common in 2v2. Since with 12 pool you can actually get a nice harassment here by Protech. You can see that he is moving forward and back. His opponent needs to engage his lings with the drones. Now that his queen is up, that will stop the harassment, at least for now. I was going to say that a 12 pool is actually very common in 2v2 because it allows you to get your queen and your speed and mass produce the lings out of one base. And get your speed so fast, compared to a bit faster actually than the 14 pool, and a bit faster also than the 10 pool, surprisingly enough. And actually still harassing quite nicely. These 2 zealots will help a lot, but they have to stick together. If these get isolated, he could actually surround and do so much damage here. More lings streaming out. Now speed is done. He is going to get a surround on these zealots, and that is very dangerous for their opponents. With speed done, he should actually try and pick off this zealot before the shields regenerate. And the lings are doing a nice job for preventing that. The zealot does get caught off guard though and gets picked off. More reinforcements from Protech, and now you can see a swell of roaches. 7 roaches making their way across the map. These zealots won't be as effective against roaches. 4 gate from Chumbawamba. Meanwhile, an evolution chamber, an Evo chamber from Pink Ghost, gonna get that fast +1 for his lings. Gonna get the advantage on Protech. Protech still mass producing lings because he cannot afford to do anything else. These 2v2s are so micro intensive, you can't get picked off by these lings. You cannot get caught off guard. These roaches are going to join in the lings, and this is going to do huge damage. They have to watch out for that surround from Pink Ghost's ling. They are going to move up into Chumbawamba's base. Nice surround here on the stalkers. These roaches are half getting surrounded. They should just stick to the walls here. They are going to do huge damage to these lings. +1 about halfway done for Pink Ghost, not getting any use of that right away. Now that Protech actually has the superior link count, he can start harassing even more. These roaches are going to start doing so much damage. If you can keep the two armies separated, that is so important in 2v2s. Remember, if you actually engage two half armies against a whole army, you are going to lose very, very, very many units. And now these roaches are going to start hacking away at the main base of Pink Ghost. That +1 that are +1 weapons for the Lings is still not done. The Stalkers are going to start coming into the main base, but so many drones are actually getting picked off here. Protech still has a few Lings. And actually Chumbawamba gonna go for a counterattack here with his Stalkers. Now Pink Ghost is basically dead in this game. He has no more Harvesters, maybe a few. He actually did save 10 Harvesters. No, he actually saved 5 Harvesters. I don't know where they are. There they are. But they will get picked off if he's not careful. This hatchery is gonna go down. And now it's up to Chumbawamba. You can actually see the army tab is going to favor Chumbawamba. 50 supply, and surprisingly enough, Mad Winner has 50 supply as well, and this is going to be ravaging for Chumbawamba. He really needs to be careful. He is actually supply blocking Mad Winner. That is something you need to do. Now, if he actually attacks this, Protech is actually not gonna be able to do much. He only has 23 supply, and most of these are Lings, so that is the downfall of the 10 pool. It does enable your partner to do whatever he wants, but it also enables one of these opponents to macro up and do a lot of damage. These roaches are gonna finish off all the rest of the buildings, and soon Pink Ghost will have no more forces. You can see that his last spawning pool, there it goes down. He is officially eliminated, and these roaches are going to try and come back to their base to reinforce these roaches. 60 supply for Chumbawamba, 57 supply for Mad Winner, and Protech only at 25 supply. Gonna actually pick off some of these Stalkers, catching some off guard here in the middle of the map, and that was huge. You can actually see 58 supply. Now, even with Mad Winner, add those 22 supplies from Protech that is supply blocked right now. He is still on only 9 Harvesters at this point. And that is amazing to be on 9 Harvesters for so long. He did have a small window where he could have made a few more drones, but he decided that actually his partner should be able to take care of this Protoss by himself. If he just keeps harassing with these Lings, they will be able to eventually just get the advantage in this game. More Lings are still being actually now switching to drones. So he will keep these Lings just for a bit more harassment. Eventually might want to get an expansion. He does not have the money for it. I think he's droning up 2 gear for that eventually. I think that Mad Winner should eventually try an expo here. They should be able to actually hold this position. If that creep actually reaches down here, they will be able to move those spine crawlers, bring them together, and that is when it's going to be so powerful and so easy to defend these positions actually. When these 2 spine crawlers actually reach out in the middle here, there is no way that Chumbawamba will be able to engage this. Still a lot of production out of Chumbawamba. He is getting his own expansion, which he will have to stay here and defend, because with these Lings, counterattacking is so easy that actually he can't move out. So an expansion here is very, very safe by Mad Winner. I wonder if Protech is actually going to go for an export of his own, or just keep producing mass Lings off of one base to threaten that counterattack, because obviously these, if they move out, a counterattack will happen, especially since these army tabs should be quite even for the Mad Winner and Chumbawamba. He is pulling slightly ahead, so 10 supply ahead for Chumbawamba. He is gathering his forces and actually coming back slowly in this game. If we look at the income tab, actually there are 40 Harvesters for Chumbawamba and only 30 Harvesters for Mad Winner and 17 for Protech. He is already getting a 3rd base, and as a single player, Chumbawamba is basically even to these two players. You can see it is now going to be 3 bases versus 3 bases. And that is actually a good place to be as Chumbawamba, because he can actually keep his units grouped. He is the only one who can control his units, and a slight miscontrol by these two players, Protech and Madwinner. If they are not perfectly synced at the later stages of the game, they can get caught off guard, half armies versus half armies. If these armies actually separate, the full army of Chumbawamba will be able to actually just pick off a full army of one of these two players. And you can see actually a Colossus already on the field for Chumbawamba. Production shows actually tunneling claws for Madwinner and an infestation pitch. So we might be seeing a lot of harassment from Burrow here. Protech now moving up to 24 harvesters. He finally has this first base saturated. Still a lot of minerals left here, almost 1,000 per patch, 900 per patch. If you compare it to, say, his partner Madwinner, you can see there are barely 500